Welcome to the Cross the Line podcast. My name is Carlos Smith, and I have another special guest with me today. She is the owner of the Hot Dog Cafe here in Lyman, South Carolina, and right now I'm sitting with Miss Debbie Bishop. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh, thank you for having us. I'm happy to be here with you. Just starting out, can you tell us how did this business come about?
Um, well, we had found out through a family member that the previous owner was going to sell, and we just decided that for our future that we just needed something to make sure that we could make it through our retirement. So we made an offer, and he accepted, and so that's how we got into it.
Okay, so how do you know how long it was? Well, how long have you guys actually had it, and then how long was it before you?
Okay, I've had it 4 years now. I've only been working full time here 2 years because I still had a previous job, and so I tried to run it and work that job. But then I took an early retirement and decided to come, and take care of my own business. The guy before me had it 8 years, and I think the person before him had it for like 15.
Oh, wow.
So the Hot Dog Cafe's been around for a while.
Oh, okay. Were you always in the restaurant industry, even though you weren't in this business at first? Were you still in the restaurant industry, or what kind of work were you doing?
No, the closest I ever came to any of that, I sold popcorn when I was a teenager at the movie theater.
Oh, wow.
And that's all the experience I've had.
So when you started, you said that you took it from another business. And you kind of backed into it. What would you say is the difference between kind of building a business from the ground up as opposed to getting one that's already been up and running?
I think it would be a lot harder to start from scratch. He had pretty much everything and could tell me, what we needed to do. I didn't have to start from scratch. He had some equipment, and, I just bought the whole business from him. Mm-hmm. And of course, now you learn a lot, even though, it was up and running. I still had to learn a lot about licensing and tax and all this kind of stuff that nobody ever tells you. You just kind of learn on your own.
Right. You were telling me that your husband also has his own business. Was he able to kind of help you, give you some business points on some things that you can do?
Oh yeah, he helps out a lot and tells me, gives me a lot of good hints and stuff. So.
A lot of people don't like to go after what they really love to do because of fear. Were you kind of fearful of going ahead and taking this business, or since it was already kind of successful business, or is it more, were you more comfortable with going ahead and taking that leap of faith?
Well, I think I was comfortable in that I still had a job, and so it made it a little easier for me to make that decision because I knew I had something to fall back on should this not follow through.
Right. But did you have to kind of get some of the people that were previously working here? Did they come along with stay in the business, or did they find other jobs, or did they?
The people originally had stayed for a while.
Okay.
And with this business, you have a lot of turnover. So they kind of help. I didn't know anything about restaurant business, so I had some good employees to start with that helped out a whole lot.
Were you guys always in this area, or was it another?
No, we were on 292 for 2 years. Mm-hmm. That's where the previous owner was for all those years. But the landlord sold out. He sold to Dollar General, so we had to move, and we luckily enough found this place to rent. So.
What would you say is the hardest part of running a business?
The first part of running a business, or this business, the hardest part is having good employees. Mm-hmm. Restaurants is a lot of turnover. And, nobody's going to take care of your stuff or your business the way you are. Mm-hmm. And so just finding employees that are willing to work and stick it out and go by the rules.
Do you find it kind of hard, like you were saying, because the restaurant being a business owner, do you find it hard not to be so hands-on, or are you always engaged in hands-on with the daily operations that go on?
I try not to.
Right.
I try to stay downstairs as much as possible and do, all the paperwork, but I make it up here. And if I ever come up here, I don't go downstairs for, a long time. So it's easy to want to be in the center of everything.
Is it kind of stressful for you, or do you ever worry that when people work for you, it's kind of like to some degree that their livelihoods are in your hands, where they're depending on keeping the business running? Is that
Yeah,
kind of
like
stressful?
holidays, I worry about holidays. Do they want to work? Do they not want to work? Sometimes they'll say, Miss Debbie, please don't close. We don't need, time off because they had rather be paid. And so, with my husband's business and my business, we know that we'll be okay, but then you have to worry about the people that work for you.
hmm What do you what do you like to do in your spare time to kind of get away from everything and relax? What kind of things do you like to do?
Crafting. My sister and I do a lot of crafting, monogramming, and that kind of stuff. And of course, she and I take a day a week and have a girls' day out. And so we go to the movies or we go do crafting and we go eat lunch and, you know.
What kind of things would you say what kind of characteristics do you think a business owner needs to have to run a successful business? What are those characteristics?
You have to be a people person, I think. You got to have good record skills. You still have to be compassionate, when things happen with, the employees, and be understanding and trying to be in the middle, not trying to take sides when there's issues and things. So you have to pull yourself away from that and realize, I can't take sides.
One of the other interviews, Mr. Ellie, he also owns the hot dog restaurant. He's in the restaurant industry, and he talks about, it's other restaurants around the area from him. But I asked him, are you helpful with sharing other tips with other business owners that's in the restaurant industry, or is it kind of like a competition, or do you still like to, reach out to them, get some advice, and also let them give you some advice?
Well, I know I don't really do a whole lot with another hot dog place, but I have with other restaurants that I go to, and knowing the managers or the owners or whatever. Different people I talk to, and then when I find out something that, because my brother-in-law has a business, and so, I would call him and tell him, hey, I just found this out, just want to make sure you knew about it or whatever. So
a lot of times we hear that restaurants, if they last 2 or 3 years, if they can make it past 2 or 3 years, then they're a successful business. What was that point for you where you knew that this business was here to stay, or that you knew you had something actually in this business?
Well, it was real scary when we moved because, we had a pretty good business there. Of course, our location there was a lot smaller, and then we moved here, and with it being so big and on a different road and everything, after we moved here a couple months after seeing that we had more customers than we had at the other place.
When you talk about a location, is it important to find a location that's kind of busy with a lot of traffic? That way people can stop in, or are you just trying to find somewhere to just keep the business going?
Well, I think you have to worry about who your customers are going to be. See, at the other place it was more the landfill. Now Saturdays were our biggest days. We moved here and there's a lot of plants, up and down this highway. So they come in for lunch, so every day is pretty much a busy day.
What would you say to anybody that wants to start a business, not necessarily, and it doesn't necessarily have to be in the restaurant industry, what would you say is the blueprint to running a business?
Just have your plan and decide what you want to do and just research.
What's the most fulfilling part for you for having your business?
I would say the customers. I love meeting the customers and talking to the customers. That's what I like to do the most. And my husband does too, that we go around from table to table, talking to them. And of course, being successful, is a big part.
Absolutely. And your husband, is he still in the restaurant industry, or does he have something?
No, he's a forklift mechanic. He has his own business.
Okay.
So, but he's also our chili maker.
Okay. And who would you say were your I want to say mentors, because I think everybody can have a mentor, somebody they go to, a go-to person that gives them some kind of advice. Who would you say were your mentors growing up, or just once you got your business, who were some of your mentors, people that gave you some great advice?
Of course, my husband.
Mm-hmm.
And then I share a lot with my sister. She's my sounding board, and I go to her. And then, like I said, there's other people that I know in the restaurant business that I've been able to go talk to them, and they help me. And then I try to help others if they've got questions.
Is this business something that you would look to pass down to your family, or at some point just hang it up, or is it something that you want to pass down for generations?
Um, if we decide to make it that long, if our health stays good, yeah, we would like to pass it down, to a family member if they want it.
Yeah. So when people leave from here, what would you say is something that you want them to take away from leaving the Hot Dog Cafe?
That they had a good experience, they had a good meal, they had a reasonably priced meal, and that they enjoyed being here, and that it's a family atmosphere.
Yes, absolutely. If you could start any other business from scratch, with everything that you know, all the knowledge that you have, what business would you want it to be?
Oh, I'm not looking to start another business. I'm ready for retirement the second time, but probably like a gift store, something for lady,
Mhm.
like a boutique or something.
Would you say that running the hot dog cafe was kind of your true calling, or do you think it was just something you just fell into your lap?
It just fell into my lap, but I love it.
Mhm.
My husband sometimes when he gets frustrated says, "We ought to just sell. We ought to just." No, I'm not ready. Um,
What would you say is this is a tough question. What would you say is your ultimate goal?
ultimate goal, to make a decent living, but not uh, try to be overpriced, and I want to be fair to my customers.
Absolutely.
I don't believe in overpricing just to make money. I mean, I'm bad about telling my customers now, I'm going to ring it up this way so it'll be cheaper.
Mhm.
I believe in helping them save money, and then that way they'll want to keep coming back here.
And when you said that, it kind of made me think of like some of the things that I'm actually going through myself with like shooting video and those different things. Like, and I talked to some of my mentors about the same thing, about how they started their business. And one of the issues that I brought up was when you're starting out, like I didn't know what to charge people for like videos and everything. And even my t-shirts, I started giving these out for free and just doing things just to get some support. But like at some point in time, you're gonna have to make some
Yeah.
kind of money. But how do you know, like, how do you know what to like charge and not overprice it?
Well, now the prices were already set when I bought it, and we have not gone up. Um, my supplier keeps telling me, he said, "Debbie, you've got to go up in prices because you're losing money because of how much meat costs. The cost of meat has gone up, and
Hmm.
and we know eventually that we'll have to, but a lot of my customers are senior citizens and on fixed incomes, and
Right.
you know, you
And,
kind of hate to go up on them,
hmm.
but eventually you've got to. But I'm not out here to gouge anybody.
Absolutely, because a lot of places, when things go up, because of course, over time, everything is going up.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately. But did you see a lot of the people from in the past before you owned it? Did a lot of those same loyal customers still come over here once you guys took over?
Yeah, we've had a lot of customers from our other location come, and of course we've picked up a lot of new customers. And we're still getting people that says, "I used to go to your other restaurant, but I didn't know where you had moved. We just thought y'all had closed down. I'm so glad we found you." And, of course, we have a lot of people that's come in. This is their first time.
Hmm.
They've heard about it, and they want to try it out. So
I know we were talking right before we started airing that like with social media and posting your business on your social media. You say you didn't do too much with it, but do you feel like that will be a key part of bringing in more customers and keeping people engaged with social media? How important would you think that is today for a business?
I really don't, because it hadn't really, I hadn't seen where it's actually hurt me.
Right.
You know, but I mean, I'm sure it probably could help,
Mm-hmm.
but, we stay pretty busy during the daytime. If I could say, okay, if you come between 3 and 5,
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
when you want more customers to come, and maybe less at 12 o'clock.
Yes, ma'am. All righty. Well, thank you, Miss. Make sure. We'll have to cut that part out. Last thing, do you have any advice that you want to give anybody, or any social media that you want to give out so people can know who you are? Any social media, any advice that you want to tell anybody, people listening?
Just come try the Hot Dog Cafe at 605 Spartanburg Highway.
All right, there you guys have it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Till next time, this is Cross the Line Podcast. Thank you for listening.